Well, hello, folks, and good Friday evening. I am meteorologist Alexa Minton. I know most of you usually expect Chris Bailey to be here. I'm filling in for him. I think he's moving his daughter into college here at UK, so good luck to him. Let's wish him some patience tonight, because I know that can be a rough battle to deal with. I'll go ahead and dive right into our forecast for our evening, though, because we're looking at what's going to shape up to be a beautiful sunset. Depending on your location, you got to head outside, enjoy some of that beautiful sunset vibes. We might see a little bit of cloud cover across parts of the region, and we're certainly also going to see some steamy temperatures. We're still relatively warm across the board. We've got temperatures in the upper 80s for parts of central Kentucky, and as we look towards the rest of the weekend, right, we're going to have a calm Saturday and eventful Sunday. And already our forecast is shifting a little bit. We just saw another model outlook come through, so most of that activity that we might have been expecting on Sunday could be pushing a little bit more towards Monday, but again, we're going to be tracking this as we go about the weekend. Now, our first alert radar network is showing a little bit of cloud cover at the moment over parts of central Kentucky, so if you're trying to catch a good sunset there, you might notice a little bit more clouds in your sunset. I think that can make it prettier sometimes. And we're also kind of keeping our eye over on our friends in western Kentucky. You know, they got barreled with tons of rain throughout the day. In fact, they had lots of flash flood advisories and warnings that were out for parts of that region. We were tracking them all throughout parts of the day, and it seems like things have subsided there substantially. Now, in regards to heat, we're mostly keeping our way out of that heat dome that we've been kind of keeping our eye on, and we can see that in regards to weather activity, it lines up with that. Most of that weather activity is kind of riding over this heat dome, and it will push towards us and impact us in Kentucky. Not today, not tomorrow. It'll hit us on Sunday. But we do see this active region for some of our friends in parts of Missouri and Iowa. It's headed to our friends in Illinois, and it's going to wrap around and bring us some moisture as we look towards Sunday and maybe even parts of Saturday evening. So we're going to be keeping our eye on just rounds and rounds and rounds of storms. Now, I mentioned that heat dome. We can still see it active for our friends in parts of the southern Great Plains. Look at this. Dallas has temperatures of 104. Austin's got temperatures at 103, really warm. As you can see, we're just east of that dome. It's mostly centralized around here, and we'll see that kind of continue as we look throughout parts of this weekend. I have to remind myself sometimes, because usually when I step outside and I start sweating, I'm like, man, it is hot outside. Well, most of the heat is settled in parts of the southern Great Plains. In fact, we see, yes, we do get a little bit of warmth, especially around maybe 6 o'clock on Saturday, but it's more seasonable to what we would expect. You know, we're in August, we expect those 80-degree temperatures, but most of that heat, the hot temperatures, is going to keep out of the way for us. Now, as we trend throughout our day on Sunday, we're still going to watch most of that heat remaining just west of us, but then we're going to see a cool down as we look towards Sunday evening into Monday, and I think we're all excited because I know I'm a big fan of the cool down. I'm not a fan of stepping outside and sweating all day long. Our hour-by-hour forecast for your evening shows us that we're going to have a clear evening. 10:45, we're going to be down in the 70s for most of the state. We already see some 60s in eastern Kentucky. We'll stay cool throughout parts of the overnight, and as we start to trend into Saturday morning, we'll see a little bit of activity. Now, we keep our eye on it because it's going to affect parts of western Kentucky, but look at this. It starts to hit our friends in Indiana. It almost looks like the activity is splitting around parts of central Kentucky. I think it's trying to let us enjoy our Saturday. In fact, it's going to stay out of the way maybe until we hit those Saturday evening hours. That's when we might see some rainfall for us in central Kentucky and eastern Kentucky as well. Those then early Sunday morning hours, that's when you guys might be waking up to some rain for parts of eastern Kentucky. Now, as we go about our day on Sunday, we're going to keep our eye on a band of storms that's headed our way in parts of the evening. Now, a new model outlook did just come through. Originally, we were starting to expect it to come around those dinner time hours. We're going to see some heavy rain push in what's looking like going to be early Monday morning. It's going to be important that you stay alert, because if it's coming in the overnight, that presents a whole new risk associated with it. Now, we could see damaging winds, heavy rainfall, so there could be localized flash flooding. Now, there is a minor hail risk and a minor tornado risk, and don't worry about that tornado risk. It's too far out for us to say anything definite yet, but I did want to mention that because it was issued by the SPC. We are going to keep our eye on it and track it all weekend long as we look ahead towards this weekend. our muggy meter. You know, I'm thinking about headed outside this weekend. We're going to be kind of towing this line between mugginess and humidity. And as you can see, there's a lot of noise on this graph. That's mostly because we'll see storms come in those waves. We'll see a storm shower come in. It'll get really muggy right before. After that shower pushes out, it'll start to cool down maybe towards the comfy region. We're going to watch this activity carry on Monday, Tuesday. We start to get a little bit of relief after those storms move through on Monday. It's once we head towards Wednesday, we're going to see another round of storms come in, bringing in some more activity. So if we're looking at our rain chances, let's break it down specifically. Sunday into Monday, we'll definitely get some rain on Sunday. We're trying to keep our eye on when that severe threat is going to be. It's starting to look more and more like it's going to shift more from Sunday into those early morning hours on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, we might have some chances of rain. It's Thursday that we're going to see another active storm system push through the region. You know, we expect those summertime pop-up showers, and we're going to head back into the hang of it, getting some more of those active weather patterns. Now, in regards to our forecast breakdown, like I said, dry evening tonight. Saturday, we could see a storm or two, maybe from that big widespread rain that we're seeing in parts of Indiana. Temps are going to be a little bit steamy tomorrow. They'll be in the upper 80s. Sunday, that's when we see that storm chance increase. We're going to keep our eye on it all weekend long. You can join me on WKYT mornings tomorrow, or you could join me on WKYT later tonight at 10 and 11. So I'll be tracking that throughout parts of the evening into tomorrow morning for y'all. So again, weekend forecast, mostly calm. So this means playing your stuff for Saturday, and then maybe try to stay inside on Sunday. It's going to be nice throughout little periods of time on Sunday, but I think that rain chance is just too large to make any definite plans for Sunday. Just keep all of your plans for Saturday. Thank you all for joining me. If I didn't mention your specific region, I usually say this in the morning, so let me know if this is something you guys want to see in parts of the evening. But if I didn't mention your specific region, drop your county, drop your town in the comments. I will do my best to go back through before our 10 o'clock show and kind of give you guys the specific answers to your weather questions. Chris Bailey will be back on Monday. Don't worry, he's coming back. But if not, you guys can join me tomorrow morning on WKYT Mornings and Sunday on WKYT Mornings. Thanks for joining me. I'm meteorologist Alexa Minton. Have a great weekend.